Hey, welcome to the Drunk Linux user. Drunk Linux user. That's me. I guess I should have probably found a much simpler name for the show, huh? Okay, well, I'm Len. I'm the Drunk Linux user. I am the Drunk Linux user. And I'm coming to you here by way of Linux Mint and Ubuntu Unity. I'm one of those guys who actually likes Ubuntu Unity. And I don't like GNOME, or as these purists like to say, GNOME. I'm also not one of these guys who's going to go around talking about GNU Linux. It's just Linux for me. It's also GNOME, like, the things you find out on the yards people have, with the goofy hats, and they look like they came out of Lord of the Rings or something. Anyway, so one day I decided I'm done screwing around with GNOME 3 or 4. I can't get it to do what I want it to do. I've tried KDE a lot. I want to like KDE a lot. I can't like KDE at all. It's too flaky. Every time I try to do a video or I try to edit a video or something, things go crazy. So, no KDE for me. I tried XFCE. It's okay. It's alright. The memory usage on XFCE is amazing. It's great. I really like that part of it. But I don't like other parts of XFCE. Screen tearing. And if you're going to do videos, screen tearing is not what you want to have. And XFCE has it, and there are fixes for it, whatever. But it still never comes out quite the way you want it. Now, one of the things that I had noticed over time is that back in the day, I've got an older laptop just to kind of give you some idea. It's about 7-8 years old. I've pumped it full of RAM. I can only go up to 16 gigabytes of RAM, but that works. That works good with Linux. And I've put in a 500 gig SSD drive for the operating system, and I put in a 1 terabyte drive for the for my archive, my backups. Okay, so that's what I've done with physically. I've also tried to keep it cool because it's so old, and I haven't taken it apart and really blown out the guts yet. I've taken the battery out, and I've also taken out the drive bay for the optical drive, the CD DVD thing. I've got that out too. So I've got it tilted up a little bit, the laptop, so that air can get in there, and try to keep it as cool as possible. If you were to listen right now very carefully, you could hear the fan starting to pop up. Well, that's just the way it is. It's old. I mean, one of these days I'll have enough cashola I can, pop it down and maybe build my own thing. I don't know. But right now, this is what I've got. It works. I make it do things I don't think it's really supposed to, which is cool. But that's one of the things I like about Linux that I can't do with Windows. This machine originally came with Windows 7. I liked Windows 7 an awful lot, but it did dog down after a while. There's just too many problems with memory management and stuff like that. Tried Windows 8 and then 8.1. 8.1 was alright. Still not exactly great, but it was alright. Now, Windows 10, I have a hate, love, hate relationship with. I hate that it spies on you. I hate that it takes up so many so much of your resources. I love how it works, though. I mean, it really does. It works very well. But I also hate the fact that every time I try to do more than 2 semi-memory intensive jobs on this little laptop, things kind of go south. So screw it. Back to Linux. I've been using Linux off and on, mostly on, since about 2014. Not exclusively, but predominantly. I'd say probably about 90 to 95% has been Linux. I've tried Ubuntu. I've tried Linux Mint. I've tried MX Linux. I've tried KDE Neon. I've tried Arch. I've tried Arch. And I've tried Manjaro, and I've tried Endeavor. Manjaro and Endeavor are amazing. They're really, really good. But I have a problem with software instability on Arch with this machine. And I'm qualifying everything I have. I think I see a dot on my camera. Hang on just a second here. Maybe. Oh my God, look at that. I got some crap on my camera. I'll go figure. Maybe that'll make me look better. I really seriously doubt that. Anyway, getting back to Arch. Arch is pretty good. I don't know about the packages. I don't know how you can trust Arch. To be honest with you, anybody can put together a package and put it in the AUR. And that's where a lot of the things I want are in the AUR, the Arch repositories. So, yeah, it kind of left me in a little corner. And on top of that, like I said, just had some stability issues when it comes to things like, I like using Shotcut, okay? I do use Kdenlive on occasion to edit videos, but there was just always something. It's like Rosanna Dana always says. It's like my mama always told me. It's always something, okay? Well, with Arch with me, it's always something. Now with Ubuntu, oh my God, it seemed like every time I turned around, something would freeze up, and all of a sudden the screen would kind of go a little dark. And it's like, oh wow, am I going blind here? And it's like, no, it's just Ubuntu. But the thing that I noticed a while back is that Unity was always, for me, really rock solid. It never gave me trouble, never gave me one fit. And on top of that, I didn't have the screen tearing that I would get in things like XFCE, and to an extent with KDE, no matter how much I rigged or tried to goof around with the compositor for KDE. So, all things considered, it was coming down to Linux Mint. God, I don't like Cinnamon. Cinnamon crashes on me left and right. Again, this is my equipment. Your stuff may run beautifully and wonderfully and optimally. It probably runs really good, but on my machine, not so much. I'm dealing with my own limitations. Okay, so this is why I chose the path that I've taken with Linux. Okay, so I have tried, but one thing I can say about Linux Mint, regardless if it was Mate or XFCE or Cinnamon, the operating system is solid as a freaking rock. I mean, it does not crash. I can do all kinds of really stupid, weird, bizarre things with Linux Mint, and it works. It just works. It's just, again, what do you want? How do you want this to work for you? And I want it to work better. So what I did was I found out that if you go, here, I want to try to do this. If you go to the Linux Mint website, you can go here to Linux Mint 20.2. It's the newest version, okay? And it's called UMA. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with Thurman or not. I don't go much to the forums, so I don't know the reasoning behind all these names that they give out to everybody. But when you scroll down, you can see you've got down here, you got Cinnamon, Mate, and XFCE. Okay. Mate and I do not get along. I just don't like it. Okay. I know it's very similar to the original version of what GNOME had with Ubuntu back in the day and all that stuff, but it's not for me. And again, Cinnamon, flaky. It just crashes on me all the time. XFCE, it doesn't crash, but the compositor sucks. It's really bad. When you're trying to do videos or something where you need to kind of like move a screen around and you see all these little jagged lines and stuff, it just, no. But what I did was I downloaded XFCE, so you're going to see the little screen pop up. Okay, and you're supposed to choose where you want it. Now, wherever you are in the world and whoever you are, you can download from all these different, they call them mirrors. Okay, this is where they have mirrored the download sites. I'm in the US, and the one that always seems to work for me is kernel.org. Okay, so kernel, I click on that, and then, look at that, drunk Linux user and old phone. Oh, by the way, in another show, I'm gonna do a call out to somebody by the name of Kaylin who had a video I saw on how to pick up a Linux, an LG V20. Okay, now they don't make these anymore. This is not new. This is used, but it's also been kind of like reconditioned. It's got one little itty bitty tiny blemish. I don't know if you can see it or not, right up there. But the phone is solid as a rock. I mean, it's awesome. And you can root this booger really, really simple in Linux or in Windows, and you can put something like Lineage OS on there. I think I've got 18 point something on here for this phone. No Google apps, nothing. And I can do everything I need on this phone without Google. Now, I can, of course, stop things like, if I turn on a GPS or put on location services, of course, and just even cell service is going to pick it up. But one of the really cool things about it is if you push this little button right here, the back pops off. You can take the battery out. You take the battery out, there's no juice. No juice. How are they going to find the phone, right? Okay. Just talking out loud. That's all I'm doing here. That's why I have old phones, because I backed up the old phone. Oh, I'm sorry, old man. I just dropped my headset on top of the cat. One or two, by the way. So anyway, you go ahead and you just save this sucker onto your hard drive. You can see where it's coming in on the folder. It's going to come in right down here. The other thing that you should seriously consider doing, and I didn't bring up the page for that, is to go to, I use DuckDuckGo as my search engine. Okay, so Etcher download. I'm going to show you something that saves me a lot of concern. Okay. Now, this one right up here, the first one that comes up, Etcher image flasher download latest version, blah, 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 blah. Notice it says it's etcher.download. That's not the site for Etcher. This little guy right down here, balena.io/Etcher. There you go. Right there. That's the one you want to go to. When you go to this site, okay. There we go. Okay, now it's going to bring up a little thing. Okay, we're going to try to figure out, what do you have? What do you have? They're fetching the latest release right down here. Taking a little bit longer because I'm downloading this ISO file for Linux Mint, you see. So it says download for Linux. Now I have a 64-bit laptop, so I click on that thing. And it's going to my downloads, it's going to put Balena, Etcher, Electron, blah, 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 save. All right. So this thing takes no time whatsoever. Show this in that folder again. I need to make this just a little bit bigger for you to see. Now you can see right now that Linux Mint has downloaded all the way. It's finished. Done. Finito. It's ready to be used. This Balena Etcher folder, though, this zip thing, you need to extract here. And it takes just a second. And what you get is an app image. I'm kind of like going all over the place with this, but what you need to do is you need to go into properties and permissions and allow this file to run as a program. Okay. If you do that, that's awesome. You can execute this. You can also put it in another program called App Image Launcher, which will actually integrate this in with your Linux system. And it doesn't really matter what kind of Linux system you have. It will make it part of it. You can look it up. It'll have the icon. And, well, what the heck? I'll show you what it looks like. So when this thing pops up, it'll say, do you want to put this thing in your system, and do you want it to, be a part of, your life from now on? So you click integrate and run if you can hit the button. And then in a second or so, voila. Awesome, huh? Now from here, you're going to want to flash from the file, and you want to choose the Linux Mint or whatever you've downloaded. Whatever is good for you, right? So Linux Mint, you click open. So that loads it up. Now you got to select a target. I have a little problem here, and I'm out of USB ports. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that I click here, and there is a thumb drive sitting right there. I would select that thumb drive, and then click here, and I'd have to put in my password, and after my password it would put, for example, it would put the Linux thing on a thumb drive. This is just an example because I've got another example, and I've got another example, and I've got two more, but screw it. That's as far as we're going right now with that. So it flashes it. You put it in your computer, restart, or you keep it in your computer. You restart your computer. I don't need this. I'm just going to drop it. Oh, crud. Move the trash. I forgot to set up. See, this is so new. I haven't even set everything up yet, but I can do that pretty easily, really. I will just go up to here and go to preferences, and what I want to do, because this is the way I like things, okay? You can show the action to permanently delete your files and folders instead of just going to the trash. Normally, if I'm going to throw something away, I know I want to throw it away, like this one, Balena Etcher. Now you'll see that I've got a delete selection in my drop down when I right click on it. So I delete. It says, are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I'll go ahead and delete it. If I need more, I'll just go back to the website and download it again. But I don't need to. So you go through the Linux Mint install, and there's like tons of videos on how that's done. When you're done with it, go in, and I strongly suggest that you update the system. You get certain things tweaked the way you want it. I use a VPN, so I install my VPN. I also install some of the software that I know I want to use right away, like I use Evolution for my email, and I use the Brave browser for my browsing needs. So I put those things in first. I probably could wait, but I just put those things in first. Then after that, I come to this website. It's called debugpoint.com. Now, this was done last year. It still works. What the hell, right? So this article is about how to install the Unity desktop in Ubuntu 20.04. Long-term LTS, long-term something. I forget. Anyway, LTS, that's the one that lasts for about 5 years, right? Okay. Well, Linux Mint runs off from these LTS Ubuntu. They take Ubuntu and they take off all the Ubuntu crap and they put in all their Linux Mint stuff, and there you go. So when you install Linux Mint, you're putting in like a version of Ubuntu that doesn't have all the Ubuntu stuff in it. Okay, so Linux Mint. So this works. These steps work here. You can see up here, I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to unhighlight it so you can probably read it easier. I'll put the link in the description. What the hell? I mean, I'll go ahead. In fact, I'll just go ahead and save that bookmark so I don't forget, because I will. And anyway, so Linux Mint, like I said, it's good, solid, it's great. Unity for me, man, it's the ultimate. It's the best thing ever. So you can read the deal here about what Unity is about, and then to install it on your Linux Mint, you'll put in sudo apt update. Okay, then it's going to ask you for your password, so just type your password in, and then it is a good idea to do what they're saying here, sudo apt upgrade. That's just in case excuse me, that's just in case there's like a new kernel or something like that you need to install on your system. It just brings you completely up to date as far as Linux Mint is concerned. Then the big one, sudo apt install Ubuntu Unity desktop space install suggest. Just copy and paste it into a terminal. Okay, all these things. Just copy and paste this stuff into a terminal. A terminal, if you're new, on most systems in Linux Mint's no exception, you press the Control, Alt, and T key, terminal pops up. This is a terminal. This is the command line interface. So what you would do is, first of all, just give you some idea here, is copy, and I'll paste it, and voila. Then I put in my password. Okay. And it's going to tell me right here, all packages are up to date, which is swell. Okay. And that's what you want to see when you're getting ready to do this. So you do the upgrade if needed. Okay, I shouldn't need to, but I'm going to check it anyway, just to show you. Paste. Since I've already put my password in before, I didn't have to do it again. If I wait too long, though, I'm going to have to put my password back in. Okay, so there's nothing that needs to be upgraded. Now, you select that line, copy, pop it in there, paste, okay? I've already installed this, but what's going to happen is it's going to go through a whole line of stuff, and it's going to ask, do you want to install this? Yes or no? Put in a Y, hit enter. It installs it. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. During the course of the installation, though, you may see this pop up. Now, it didn't for me because XFCE already uses the Light DM login screen. Okay, and Unity for Ubuntu used the Light DM, but now since Ubuntu's gone to GNOME, they're using the GDM3. Okay, up on top. For Unity and for XFCE, just use the Light DM. In fact, probably for Cinnamon and for Mate as well, just use Light DM. Once the installation is complete, log off. I would suggest, instead of just logging off, restart. For me, it always seems to work better if I restart the computer. And that way, the complete system has a chance to boot. And when you get to the login screen, okay, now theirs is a little bit different than mine. Down here, there's this little button that you click. Okay, you've got your username, you put your password up over here. Now, with mine, there's a little button right over here, okay? And when you click that button, it gives you these selections. There's either XFCE or Unity. You select Unity, and you go to the Unity desktop, which is really, really cool. And it's there. I mean, it's ready to use. I hit the Windows key, or the super key, as they like to call it, and I can, take a look and find out where all my applications are, what's been installed, so you can kind of get an idea of what I've got on here. Some of the programs that I use and such. Okay, so if I wanted to, I could come here and put in Plan Maker. All right, okay, Plan Maker. I just hit that. Boom! It goes to it launches the Plan Maker program on my desktop, and I can start doing spreadsheets right away. Okay, now this program, you can see, has the tabbed ribbon thing like Microsoft Office, so its menus are up here. But I'm going to show you right here. You may have noticed this from before. This is Brave. The menus are up here on a global menu, which is kind of nice. I like that. I really do. If I bring over my email, which I'm not going to do, you could see that too. But you can see this here on the terminal. Okay. Well, no, this is a bad example, actually. But some of the other programs like Ghostery. Let's try to put up Ghostery. I might have to close this down. No. Okay. You can see right here that all the settings and everything you can access from up here. This is a global menu. It saves you a little bit of screen real estate for the menus that you're dealing with right here. Anyway, the reason a lot of this is taking so long is because I'm videotaping and recording audio at the same time with all this, so it's taking up a lot of my computer resources here. So anyway, this is one of the other things that's kind of cool about this. Let's see, I think it'll work with this. If you're here, what you can do is you can go hit your super key and then your alt key, type your command. So if you wanted to save from within this, you don't even have to use your mouse. You just type save as, okay, and it'll bring up the dialog, and you can use your arrow keys to pick a folder, open the folder, hit your tab key until you see the cursor pop up there, test.md, save from markdown, and boom, it's saved. You can't see my hand. Show you the cursor. You can see like right here where it says where I saved it. Well, that's kind of part of what I liked about Unity, is that you can just use these little keys down at the bottom, the super, the alt key, and you don't have to use the mouse so much, which is really, really nice. I like that. So anyway, we're going to get rid of all that. So if you use this, all right, you might want to give this guy a shout out, or Aaron Dam. He's the creator of this website anyway. Just send him a hello and thank you. And if you decide that you want to do something like this with Unity on Linux Mint XFCE, I absolutely love working with this. I think it's probably the best thing ever. And again, it works for me, and I hope it works for you if you decide to try it. I will say this: I did try to do something different. I tried to put in the latest Deepin desktop environment on as well, so I could use XFCE, I could use Unity, and I could use Deepin. All of that boogered the whole thing up, and I had to reinstall. I mean, I could not get back into Unity for nothing. XFCE would work, and then it would crash. And Deepin was just... It was the old Deepin, by the way, from the Ubuntu repositories and not the new ones. And I wanted to try the new ones. So, maybe you might want to spin up a virtual machine if you want to try to check out a different kind of desktop environment instead of, doing it on your production machine like I did. But luckily I had backed up everything prior to doing this, so it was nothing to get everything running smoothly again once I boogered it up. So that is Linux Mint with the Unity desktop, and I'm sure that the Linux Mint community and more especially their developers are probably rolling around in agony right now because I've just absolutely adulterated, their operating system. But I will say this: they have done an outstanding job of creating an extraordinarily stable Linux operating system. And because of that, they're allowing me to do what I need and what I want in order to do the things that I want to do with my computer, with Linux, and to create these wonderful little jaunty videos with you. So, this is Len, the drunk Linux user, wishing you a wonderful day or night, depending on, where you are in the world or what time you've seen this video. And if you have any questions about any of this, just, give me a shout out in the comments or anything. I have noticed that there are some really great Linux tumblers. If you want to maybe, help out the cause, and I have a link to some of these things that I would like to try to collect to be a part of the show. Maybe even a t-shirt or two or something like that. I'll give you guys a shout out if you want to, do a little donation that way. I'm not really set up to take any money right now, but you can be sure that one day I will. In the meantime, though, there are some things that I am going to try to save up for to try to make this just a little bit better in the future. I want to try to get one of those fancy little boom arm things I can put my my microphone on, so that it's not just sitting here on the desk, covering up. What is that? Probably a good 20% of the screen real estate, just so that you can hear me all right and I'm not popping and clicking like crazy. And eventually, like I said, I'm just going to build my own rig and enjoy Linux and making videos for you guys doing that. I think the next video that I'm going to do is probably going over some of the software I find really, really helpful and that really can make a difference. And I'll give you pluses and minuses on them. I'm not just going to say you need to do this, because nobody needs to do anything. You can do whatever you want to. I do. So proof is in the pudding. I put Unity on Linux Mint. And I'm not going to change either, and I like it. So that kind of reminds me of a song. For now, I think I already tried this, but we're going to try it again. I do hope that you've enjoyed this, that you got something out of it, and we can do this again real soon. Until the next time is around, bottoms up, and this is the drunk Linux user saying, bye for now. Later, dudes.